Alright guys, today we have a 2006 Toyota Camry 4-cylinder. We're gonna change the spark plugs on this car, and the spark plugs we're gonna use NGK Iridium. The part number is give me that. The part number on this is, you can see it on this box. The lights are a little too bright. Let me try to angle it. Alright, so there you go, 4589. That's the part number. That's the stock number, I'm sorry. The part number is 1FR6T11. Alright, if you buy a pack, it's going to come with 4 in a pack. And these are the spark plugs. What we're going to do is, we're going to remove this cover first. You're going to take off this number 10 here and number 10 here. And then you got this little clip here and little clip here. It just pops up. Sometimes you have to pop it very hard. Alright, we got the 2 number 10s out. Pop the cover off. It's going to come off with the cover. Yank it. There you go. So you just yank the cover because it has this little thing. It just clips into this. Alright, they should have really put number 10s on that, but they didn't do that. Alright, what we're going to do next is, now we have access to the number 10 on the coil packs. We're gonna remove the 4 number 10s for each coil. Alright, once we have the bolts loose, we're gonna remove the bolts. We're gonna lift out the coils. Alright, now we'll lift up the coils. You just gotta yank them because they probably got a good grip onto the spark plugs. Just lift them, put them to the side. You don't even have to disconnect them. Sometimes the last one you have to disconnect because the harness doesn't have too much play into it. So, and also pay attention, there should be no oil on this, alright? If there's oil on this, you have a bad valve cover gasket, alright? So there you go, we have the plugs out, the coils out. Next, what we're gonna do is we're gonna remove the plugs that are inside. Sometimes there's a dirt in there, so just blow air in there, but these look pretty clean. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna turn out the plugs, all 4 of them. You can loosen all 4, and then one by one just take them out. Alright, so one more left, and then we'll turn out all 4 plugs, and we'll show you what the plugs look like. So these plugs, you should be changing them every 60,000 miles. In about 60,000 miles, the tip of the spark plug burns out. It gets a lot of carbon on it. It doesn't even do its job, you know. Alright, so to take out these plugs, you can use a magnet, or you could use the coil pack and just stick it in there. It's gonna grab onto the plug and it's gonna pull out the spark plugs. So let me just show you one. If you don't have a magnet, what you do is you take your coil, you stick it in there, just like that. This plug is out of the way, so you're not gonna be able to grab it. We'll just pull it out with the magnet. The plug is sitting to the side so the coil cannot get it. Alright, here's the plug. Here's the old plug. This got the NGK original plug in there. Alright, so we're gonna put new plugs in there. You see how this one looks all burnt out? Alright, so we're gonna put new plugs, alright? Alright guys, before you put a plug in, always match up the plug, alright? I'm talking about the threads and the depth. You don't want to put a long plug in there. If you do that, you might damage the cylinders inside, the pistons. Alright, so there we go. We have plugs here. We have the new plug and the old plug. Alright, so we're gonna put this plug in there, the new ones. Alright, so we're gonna take the plugs. We're gonna slowly put them in there. Don't throw them in there because you might hit the tip of the plug and that will damage the tip. It might close the gap. Usually these plugs are pre-gapped, so you don't have to gap anything. And once you have the plugs in there, you're gonna take your socket, an extension, make sure you catch all the threads you can. Can you move your hand again? The reason why you want to catch the threads is because this is a very complicated place. If you damage those threads, you're not gonna be able to fix it. It's gonna be a new engine, new head. And make sure you don't drop anything in there. And after this, we'll tighten these plugs up. We're gonna torque them up and we're gonna come right back. Just make sure you torque your plugs. If you need the torque specs, you can message me. We got all the plugs nice and tight. They're sitting in there. And what we're gonna do next is we're gonna put the coils in. Alright guys, I have the old plugs here and the new ones are inside. And we're gonna remove these plugs out of the way now and we'll put the coils in. Alright, so we're gonna take the 4 coils and we're gonna put the coils in. Make sure you keep them in order, or you have them in order. The harness should only reach to the spot where it belongs, because if you reach it too far or at the wrong place, it's gonna misfire. It's not gonna do what it's supposed to do. And we're gonna take the 4 number 10s next, and we're gonna put the number 10s on, and we're gonna lock up those 4 number 10 bolts on it. After that, you could crank up the car and check it. There should be no misfire. The engine should not be shaking. Should be normal like it was from the beginning. Alright, now we'll take our little gun here. We'll tighten these bolts. And that's it. And then last thing is put the cover on and you're done. all you're gonna do is you're gonna push down on the little two clips, like this one right here. You're gonna get this to line and put the two number 10s. And that's it. All right, that's how you do spark plug changing on a 2006 Toyota Camry. If you have a Lexus, if it's a 6-cylinder, it's gonna be a different story. But any other 4-cylinder Toyota Camrys, Corolla, same procedure.